I'm Rakesh Nayak, and while this project was conceptualized, I was working with the University of Hull. Now I'm a part of RALSpace and STFC. So now let's talk about chocolates. So I know most of you in this group would be, having a good idea about chocolate. They must be loving chocolates, but we have to understand how, how you enjoy your chocolate. So when you eat the chocolate, the particle size and then the crystallization, that actually affects the flavor or the kind of melt that you get in your mouth. So our industrial partner had this challenge, and we as a group tried to explore all the possibilities or STFC technologies that can be used to solve this challenge. So as a part of the project, we had I was leading the project, and we had our partners, industrial partner, which is one of the global chocolate maker, leading brand in chocolate making. However, we have actually made the presentation very generic because we have been asked by the industrial partner not to disclose the name. So we had from STFC side, we had Tom, Damien, Jens, Daniel, and from food side we have Wantao would be here. Then we had Syed from University of Sheffield, Raymond from University of Manchester. So we try to understand what are the challenges our industrial partner was facing in their chocolate production line. So this is a generic chocolate making process. It starts with mixing, then goes into refining, and then conching, tempering, depositing, and cooling and demolding. So what happens while mixing? So you mix different components or different elements, ingredients into chocolate, and you reduce the particle size to your targeted one. So if there is a variability in the particle size while actually refining, then it affects the kind of end product that you have. Then another challenge was during the tempering process, while crystallizing, so there are different variations in crystallization, and because of which they were they're not able to achieve the results they are intending to. So for example, if you are eating two chocolates of a same brand, and if you find any difference in flavor or the taste, it could be due to the particle size, variation in particle size or crystallization in the chocolate making process. So the challenge was how to control the quality of chocolates in real time. So they have a production line in which they pick up the chocolate samples and try to measure the particle size in an offline process, which is very, very time taking, which has a long lead time. So which means that every hour their production line has a capacity to produce around 6 tons of chocolate. And if you have around 5 hours delay or in getting those samples and the results, which means by that time already 30 tons of chocolate have already been processed or manufactured. So what they do, if they find out from the results if they have a difference or they have a variation in the chocolate particle size, because they have a prescriptive size that needs to be in the chocolate, which I'm not authorized to disclose. If they find the upper specification limit or the lower specification of limit is different in the final product, they actually bring all that chocolate and remelt it and try to refine it to make the particular chocolate particle size. So what happens? It's rework. In Six Sigma term, rework is a waste. It's a waste of resources, waste of energy, and if it happens regularly, you can imagine how much money the company would be losing. So during this, our target was, the challenge was to find a system and a technology wherein we can install some sensors or any technologies into the production line of the chocolate making process, so that we can get real-time data about the particle size, and we can actually control the process in real time, not waiting for 6 hours or 5 hours or 10 hours to get the result and then try to change something. So it is more about having a proactive system rather than reactive system to actually improve the quality. So what could be the potential impact? So according to the study, available literature, any difference in the flavor or the taste of the chocolate that you eat, you might not be loyal to that company or loyal to that brand if you find any difference. So it directly affects the consumer satisfaction. Then consumer, there are also recalls and complaints about these chocolates, and normally you have many difficulties around it. Then use of resources, reuse of resources, which is a complete waste, and it also affects sales of the company. Since this company is a $1 billion pound company, so it was very much in their interest to explore STFC technologies to see. So I've already spoken about this. So what we did, so we went through all this literature, available research and chocolate making process. Then we had a one-day brainstorming workshop to kind of understand what are the possible technologies that could be explored from STFC side, which can be used in a lab testing environment to understand, okay, can we actually detect this particle size in a real-time scenario. So we also had considered different available technologies from the STFC side, which included laser diffraction or near infrared, then X-rays sensors such as Arduino, so can we sense it. Then we had also terahertz quantum scale cascade, laser spectroscopy, Raman spectroscopy. But finally, we could brainstorm and come out with the idea that speckle imaging technology could be the right one to actually go through, depending on the nature of production line and on the based of scalability, based of viability, cost benefit, and return on investment, and then having a feasible structure in the production line. Speckle imaging was found out to be the most suitable one. So what happened during the project that because of non-disclosure agreement and all those things, so the project was delayed. So what we are currently doing is we are currently trying to set up a lab testing environment to test actually chocolates samples from the industrial partner in the lab and try to find out what kind of results that we are getting in. So what happens after this is like if we get the viable results that we are expecting from this lab testing environment, so this is a maximum possible. There is a great possibility that it can be scaled up to actually use the image speckle imaging into the production line, as we have visited their facility, and we can see that depending on the processes, it can be actually feasible to have speckle imaging into the production line. So what are the future directions? So we are now asked Mondelez to prepare special particle size, special samples to send to the STFC lab, and we are going to further test and see how it is going to work. And by the month of January, we are going to trying to develop a proof of concept kind of thing, in which we want to further scale it up and get greater funding to actually see if we can install or you can actually use it in the production line in the factory. So lessons learned. Obviously, I don't want to ignore this. The factoring time required to complete the non-disclosure agreement, if you are working with STFC and industrial partner, should be factored into the project time. It's a very much a requirement in there. And I would suggest, can we have in the second phase, can we have a central project code? Some money is allotted so that the STFC colleagues can start working on the projects directly without waiting for fund to be transferred or invoice to be raised, so that we actually don't lose out valuable time from our projects. That's all from me. Any questions, please?